few days ago, Father began to talk about going into hiding. He said it would be very hard for us to live cut off from the rest of the world. It sounded so serious. I felt scared. Don't worry, Annika. Just enjoy your carefree life while you can. You're free. I was born in Frankfurt on June 12, 1929. Because we're Jewish, my father immigrated to Holland in 1933. But Hitler invaded Holland on May 10th, 1940. 5 days later, the Dutch surrendered. The Germans arrived. And the trouble started. We couldn't use streetcars. Couldn't go to the theater or movies anymore. Couldn't be out on the street after 8 p.m. Couldn't even sit in our own gardens. We had to turn on our bicycles. No beaches, no swimming pools, no libraries. We couldn't even walk on the sunny side of the streets. Our identity cards were stamped with a big black J. And we had to wear the yellow star. But somehow life went on. Until yesterday. A call-up notice from the SS. My sister Margot was ordered to report for work in Germany to the Westerbork transit camp. Call-up. Everyone knows what that means. At 5:30 this morning, we closed the door of our apartment behind us. My cat was the only living creature I said goodbye to. The unmade beds, the breakfast sink on the table all created the impression we left in a hurry. And our destination? We walked 2.5 miles in the pouring rain, all the way to 263 Prinsengracht, Father's office building. Our hiding place, the secret annex, is right behind it upstairs. Even though the Germans forced Father out, he still runs the office with Mr. Crawler and me, who've offered to help us while we're in hiding. A rat! Shh.
Me.
Frank.
Me!
Thank God you've arrived safely. Mrs. Frank, Margot, you must be exhausted. If only we'd known we would have all ready for you.
You've done too much already. Besides, it's good for us to keep busy. As you see, Aunt's my little helper.
I see that. Oh, Peter, come in.
Welcome, Peter. Peter Van Dam, children.
Welcome to the annex.
Peter, this is Anne, Margot, and my wife, Mrs. Frank.
Mrs. Frank.
Forgive me, Peter. I'm not quite myself today. But I'm glad you'll be with us. I am too.
A cat! He has a cat!
A black one.
We have a cat too. I wanted to bring her, but I know our neighbors will take care of her till we come back. It'll be great having a cat here. Won't it, Pam? Won't it be fantastic?
Anne, dear, don't get so excited. Peter doesn't know you yet.
You'll get to know me soon, though. It's going to be so much fun having other people around. A whole other family. Won't it, Margot?
Yes.
Like being on vacation in some strange pension or something. An adventure. Romantic and dangerous at the same time.
What is it, Peter?
My parents. They are right behind me, one street away. They'll be here. You don't think they were taking the...
Don't worry, Peter. You're just like me.
Mother's always jumping at every little thing. What's its name?
Mushi.
Whooshy, whooshy, whooshy. I love cats. Where'd you go to school?
They set up a technical school in somebody's house. Went weird for dinner.
I had to switch my Montessori school to the Jewish Lyceum.
I know, I saw you there.
You see what I tell you. Now we're all here.
Just in time. We have to take the long way around.
Van Dam, Mr. Van Dam, you know my wife, of course, and the children.
We must hurry. The workmen will be here now.
Fashion folks, won't they know that we're here? Oh, trust me. Your name will be on them. you make a list every day, I can try and get what you want. And every Saturday, I can bring 5 library books.
5? No, my 5 are going to be.
And remember, there are 7 of us.
I know, Mother.
It's illegal then.
The ration books? You've never done anything illegal.
I don't think we'll be living exactly according to regulations here.
Listen! The Western.
Will I ever get used to that crop?
Me or I will be here. Me or I will be here every day to see. In the buzzer to signal when we come off, and so I'll have that located listed for our report. One last thing. The radio.
A radio? Fantastic!
Radio, thank God.
How'd you get it? We had to turn ours in months ago.
Thank you, Mr. Crowley, for everything.
You'll tell them about the noise.
I'll tell them.
How can we thank you? Really, how can we ever?
I never thought I'd live to see the day where a man like Mr. Frank would have to go away.
What a journey. It's a wonder we weren't arrested. Petronella walking down the street in a fur coat, carrying a hat box in the middle of summer.
What do you need that hat for?
Oh, it's not another hat, it's... Oh, I just don't feel at home without my chamber pot.
Now, everyone, a few things, quickly. We have to get settled before 8. And, sit down, please. Well, the workmen are in the building from 8 to 6. We have to keep completely quiet. So no shoes. And only move when absolutely necessary. No running any water. No flushing the toilet in the WC. The pipes run through the warehouse and every noise can be heard.
Only one toilet. For all of us.
And no food can ever be thrown out. Not even a potato peel. We'll burn everything in the stove at night. No going outside, no looking out a window, no coughing, possible no fevers. Remember, you can never call a doctor. And this is the way we must live until it's over. But after 6, we can talk, laugh, and play games just like we would at home. Now this will be our common room, the place where we come together and have supper like one family.
One family. I love that.
Now why don't we get settled in? As Mr. Van Daan and I discussed, this floor will be the Van Daan home, the upper floor is the Frank home. Now Peter, I know your space is tiny, but you'll be near your parents. Actually, I'm glad you brought your cat. Meep warns us there could be rats.
Rats? Oh my God.
I'm sure Mushi can take care of a few rats. Come, Petronella. Let's go up to the attic and bring down our dishes. All our boxes are up there.
Never can we thank you, Mr. Frank. If it weren't for you, I don't know what would have happened to us.
You can never know how much your husband has done. When I first arrived in Amsterdam, not knowing a soul, unable to speak the language, I could never repay. Besides, he's an excellent business partner.
Well, that's true.
God, it's hot.
Well, if you take that precious coat off for one minute, you'll feel a lot cooler.
We rest, Peter. You haven't shut your eyes since yesterday. Nor are you, Marco.
I slept, Father. Isn't that funny? Even though I knew it was the last night in my own bed.
You could sleep through anything. Take off your shoes before you forget. You too, Peter. Shoes.
You're sure you're not too tired yet? Please, Mother, I'm fine. Hey, what are you doing?
Getting rid of it?
You can't do that. They'll arrest you if you go out without your star.
Who's going out? Besides, now I don't have to be branded.
You're right. We don't need it anymore. Remember when it started? People tried to look the other way, but somehow their eyes always landed right there. Mother sewed this one so tight.
The day they made us wear the star was the worst day of my life.
Nothing more. Do you know Harley Gossler?
No,
Yogi the Wall?
never heard of her.
Huh. But you heard of me.
Well, your father is my father's business.
You heard of me. You heard of me. I'm famous in my school.
That's true in a way.
Anne, you must stop bothering Peter.
I'm not bothering him. Mushi!
Mushi either. Tonight we'll have our first real supper here together.
Thank you.
He's awfully shy.
You'll like him. I know.
And better, he's the only boy I'm going to see for. My movie starts! Maybe you remembered. Where's my diary? I forgot to pack my pencils.
Anne, no. You can't go down those stairs.
But it was only first thing.
Never, Anne. This is what going into hiding means. One mistake could cost us our lives.
I know, Father.
But they're friends, Anne. That's rare these days. If the Nazis found out they were hiding us, they would be deported too.
Fountain pen.
Your fountain pen now.
Tim, what a darling you are.
All those bags of beans and potatoes. Is that what we'll be eating every night? Not much variety, is there?
Don't listen to her. What she can do with beans and potatoes, my wife's a great cook.
Lucky for us.
Even with beans. You'll see. I'm gonna miss those gourmet meals.
Cootie, stop exaggerating.
The women seem content, don't they?
You can never really tell with women, but I think we'll be all right.
Great. We'll meet here at 6 to start preparing supper then?
6 o'clock, yes.
Come away from the kitchen. The workmen will be here any moment now.
Maybe it was a mistake. All of us going into hiding together. They say it's better for families to separate. That way, if we're betrayed or caught, lose the
The
children.
children have never understood if we had separated. They couldn't have borne it. No more than we. Come. You must be quiet now.
You're all right, Monroe.
I'm still shaking. Feel my hands.
Don't worry. We're here now. They can't take you away.
Yes. We're here.
Einst haben unsere Gegner dafür gesorgt, dass durch Verbot und Verfolgungswellen von Zeit zu Zeit die Bewegung wieder ausgekämmt wurde von dem leichten Zeug, das sich bei ihr einzufinden begann. Heute müssen wir selbst Musterung halten und abstoßen, was sich als schlecht erwiesen hat. Und deshalb
It's the silence that frightens me most. Every time I hear a creak in the house, a step on the street, I'm sure they're coming for us. I wander from room to room feeling like a songbird whose wings have been ripped off and keeps hurling itself against the bars of its cage. Let me out! Where there's fresh air and laughter. Then I remember the Jews who are not in hiding. And I know we live in a paradise. You're as quiet as baby mice. Who would have dreamed Quicksilver Am would have to sit still for hours? And what's more, he could.
so funny? Nothing about me, I hope. Can I have a peek?
No, Mrs. Van Daan.
Not even a little peek.
Not even a little peek, Mrs. Van Daan.
All right, then I'm first in line for the WC. Excuse me, Maud.
Has anyone seen my shoes?
Shoes?
You took them, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna be sorry.
I am.
Definitely. Wait till I get you.
I'm waiting! I'm waiting! I'm waiting! Here. You're so strong. You can't get the boy from me. You didn't think I was so strong, did you? Uh-oh. You're getting mad. You're getting really mad now.
And Peter!
Come on, Peter. Dance with me.
I don't know how.
I'll teach you.
I don't want any lessons.
Please.
I have to go give Mushi his supper.
Can I watch?
He doesn't like people around when he eats.
I'll be quiet. Quiet as a little mouse. He looks nice, doesn't he?
No!
You shouldn't play with Peter like that. It's not dignified.
I don't want to be dignified.
Complain I don't treat you like a grown-up. But when I do, you resent it.
I just want to have some fun. What's wrong with that boy?
He's just not used to girls. Especially a girl like our Anne. Give him time.
How much time does he need? You dance with me, Margot.
I have to help with supper.
Come on, if we don't practice, we'll forget.
All right, all right.
One, two, three. See, everyone, Margot's the real dancer in the family. Him!
Ah, dancing. Where's Peter?
In his room.
His father will kill him if he touches him with that cat again. And darling, do me a favor, get Peter from his room. Mr. Frank?
Peter! Oh, Peter!
What is it?
Your mother says to come out.
You know what your father says, Peter!
I'll feed Mushi.
Alright, fine. Give Mushi his supper and come right out.
Is there any way to talk to your little girlfriend?
Mother,
Look, he's blushing.
you're crazy. She's only 13.
So you're 16. Your father's older than I am. It's perfect. Mr. Frank, I tell you, if this war lasts much longer, you and I are liable to be related. Looks like I have a run here.
Some run.
God, I hate them.
Good evening, everyone. I wish I could stay for supper, but I'm so shy. I can barely get a word out of my
Alright,
mouth.
I heard about you. How you used to talk so much in class, Mr. Kessing called you Miss Quack Quack. And made you write composition. Quack, 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 said Miss Quack Quack.
Well, go on, tell him the rest. How it was so good he read it out loud to all his other classes.
I know about you. Always joking.
I don't always joke.
Always making fun of, mocking people.
I don't
Quack,
always-
quack, quack.
You're the most infuriating boy I've ever met.
That's right, and you tell him.
With all the boys in the world, I'd get locked up with you.
Quack, quack, quack. And from now on, stay out of my room.
And
Excellent history, Anne. And in Latin.
Meep's not here yet.
the workman only left a little while ago.
What's for dinner?
Beans.
Again? I saw him up there playing with that cat.
He was only up there for a moment. He's down here all afternoon working on his French.
Really?
How did I do in algebra?
I think we both better give up on algebra.
How did I do?
How do you always do? Brilliant.
Actually, you may have used the subjunctive here.
Where? Mrs. Van Daan, can I try your coat?
Anne? Of course you may. My father gave me this coat the year before he died. He always bought the best money could buy.
Did you have a lot of boyfriends before you were married?
Anne, it's not courteous to ask personal questions.
Why not? I had a throng of admirers who couldn't keep their eyes off me.
I can imagine. Our house was always swarming with boys. I remember the summer I was 16.
Oh God, here we go again.
Who's talking to you? We had a big house in Bremerhaven. The boys came buzzing like bees around a honeypot. My father got very worried with all the boys buzzing around. He'd say, if any of them get fresh with you, you tell them. Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember I am a lady.
Remember, Mr. So-and-so, remember, I am a lady.
Very good. All right, I think that's quite enough.
What have you got to write about that's so important all the time? How much does a 13-year-old have to say?
Just because someone's young, Mr. Van Dam, doesn't mean they don't have anything to say.
Please, can't I have any privacy?
Petronella, can you please tell me what could possibly be so private?
You know how it is at that age, buddy. Everything's private, even brushing your teeth.
I just hope she's not writing anything about me in that private diary of hers.
Don't be ridiculous, Cootie. Really, you're so childish sometimes.
Still haven't finished your French? You ought to be ashamed.
I know. I'm a hopeless case.
You are not a hopeless case. He is not a hopeless case. He just doesn't have anyone to help him like the girls do. Maybe you could, Mr. Frank.
I'm sure his father...
Oh, no, he won't listen to me.
What do you say, Peter?
Oh, Mr. Frank, you're an angel. I don't know why I didn't meet you before I met that one over there.
Why don't you show me what chapter on me?
You listen to Mr. Frank, Peter. Mr. Frank is a highly educated man.
Aren't things hard enough without you sprawling all over the place?
If you didn't smoke so much, Cootie, you wouldn't be so ill-tempered.
Am I smoking? Do you see me smoking?
Don't tell me you already used up all the cigarettes.
One package! Me brought me one
You
package!
were smoking up all of our money.
Will you shut up? What are you staring at?
I never heard grown-ups quarrel before. I thought only children quarreled and were off when you grew up.
This isn't a quarrel, it's a discussion. And I never heard children so rude before.
Rude? Me?
Anne, dear, will you please bring me my knitting? I must remember to ask Meat for some more wool.
I have some library books for her to return. And I need some hairpins and soap.
Please, me. Bring me some starch, some tea, some biscuits. The Movie Star magazine. Tell us all the latest news, Meep. It's a wonder Meep has a life of her own. Did you know she's engaged to someone called Jan? She's crazy about him, but terrified the Nazis will send him to work in a war plant in Germany. That's what they do with all the young Dutchmen these days. They pick them up on the street.
Mind keeping still for 5 minutes?
Anne, dear, come have your drink.
Talk. Chatter. It's a wonder we haven't been arrested and shot. Why can't you be quiet like your sister Margot? Be a good girl.
Not me. I'm going to be remarkable. I'm going to Paris.
Really?
You'll see. I'm going to be a famous writer, or singer, or dancer one day.
Oh my God, my coat, my beautiful coat.
I'm sorry.
You know my father paid for this.
I'm very, very sorry.
He killed you for this.
Petronella.
Anne, you can't behave like this.
It was an accident. Anyone can have an accident.
I'm not just talking about the code. We're all living under great stress here. But you don't hear Margot getting into arguments with the Van Dans, do you?
Margot's perfect. She never gets into arguments with anyone.
I'm not perfect. She's courteous. She keeps her distance, and they respect her for it. Try to be more like Margot.
And have them walk all over me, too. No, thank you.
They don't walk all over me.
Yes, they do. All over you.
I'm not afraid they'll walk over you. I'm afraid you'll walk over them. I don't know what happens to you. If I ever talk to my mother the way you're talking to me,
Yes, Mother. No, Mother. Anything you say, Mother. People aren't like that these days. I can't do everything for you.
Anne, don't be so dramatic.
Everything she does is right and everything I do is wrong. If I talk, I'm a show-off. If I answer, I'm rude. Selfish if I eat too much, stupid, cowardly, a complete disappointment. I'll never live up to your expectations. I'll never be Margot.
I don't know how we can go on living like this.
You know, Anne, in 2 minutes she'll be laughing and joking again.
There's no room, no privacy for any of us. Those people, the way they behave, and your father chooses to shut his eyes to these things. I can't even remember how life used to be. Me,
It's me.
our darling me.
At last.
Does everyone have their list?
I have mine. Now you'll get your library book, darling.
Me. But Anne, what's it like outside? Where'd you go today? Who did you see? Did anyone interesting come to the office?
When meat comes, the sun begins to shine.
I missed you yesterday, Mr. Caller.
Tell us, make me want to know everything.
Won't you stay for supper?
Thank you, but there's something we need to discuss. Something that must be decided immediately.
What? What is it, Mr. Caller?
Each time we come, we try to bring a bit of good news. But up here, you just can't know how bad things have become.
There's a dentist, Alfred Dussel. He's Jewish. He's been living with a Christian woman, but recently he asked me for a no-safe address. He's desperate. I told him I would let him know immediately.
Of course, me. Absolutely. Dussel, I believe we know him.
It's great news, me.
Yes, but where is he going to sleep? There's hardly enough room.
Forgive me, I spoke without consulting you.
It's just that there's so little food.
Mr. Van Daan, I've tried. There are no more ration books to be had.
Where 7 can eat, 8 can eat as well.
I hope so.
If we can save even one person, we must.
Well, you're right. Of course.
Yes, definitely.
Mr. Carlo will go meet him, and I'll bring him up tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
It's fine to have him, but where are we going to put him?
You can have my bed. I'll just sleep on the floor.
That's very kind of you, Peter, but there's hardly enough room in there for you.
I know. I'll move in with you and Mother, and Mr. Dussel can have my bed.
No, no, no. Margot will move in with us, and Mr. Dussel can have her bed. It's the only way.
But why? Why can't I move in?
Because it wouldn't be proper for Margot to. Please, Anne, don't argue. It's settled.
As far as I'm concerned, Mother can go jump in a lake. I don't know why I've taken such a terrible dislike to her, but I can imagine her dying someday. While Papa's death seems inconceivable to me. It's very mean of me, I know, but that's how I feel. She's not a mother to me. I have to mother myself. Who can I turn to? Only my diary. Waiting our latest edition. What will he be like? Meep says he's quiet, refined, and by all accounts, an excellent dentist. He's meeting Mr. Caller at 11 sharp this morning at the search place in front of the post office. It's all very exciting. Totally nerve-wracking. What if they get caught? Those last hours are the most dangerous for a Jew who goes into hiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's done.
Everything went smoothly. Mr. Dussel was at the appointed place at the appointed time. He had to wear Don's coat over his office jacket, so no one could see the yellow star. He was amazed to be brought to the center of Amsterdam, rather than into the country, where so many hiding places are. Of course, he had no idea we were right upstairs, waiting for him.
Are you dreaming? Mr. Frank? Otto Frank. I heard you were in Switzerland. A patient of mine told me you were in Basel or Belgium or someplace.
That's what everyone thinks. The Nazis included, we hope.
We tricked them.
We're so glad you've come, Mr. Wilson.
We all are.
How can I thank you?
Not us. Maybe Mr. Crawler.
Without them, we couldn't live.
Aren't you scared of me? Sometimes.
We're not heroes.
You're much too modest to me.
We just don't like the Nazis. Anything about them.
Come, Mr. Dussel, why don't you sit? You must be worn out.
Let's all have a little toast. To Mr. Dussel.
Cognac. We were saving it in case of illness, but
What better way to use it? To Mr. Dussel, we're honored to have you with us.
Prost.
Prost. It's delicious. Too bad we only have so little of it.
I believe we know someone in common, Mr. Dussel.
Huh?
Dr. Kensler. We were friends back in the old days in Frankfurt. What? What is it?
Dr. Kensler was taken last month. They took a struck. They took the whole block.
What's going on outside, Mr. Dussel?
Tell us.
All over Amsterdam, Jews are disappearing. Torn out of bed in the middle of the night. My God, screams. Children come home from school. Their parents are gone. Women come back from shopping. The whole family's vanished. The only way to escape is to go in hiding. Professor Hallenstein,
God, no.
you have 5 minutes to get ready. Herded into the Jewish theater for days, weeks sometimes. And then, Westerbork, the transit camp. From there,
Mr. Dussel? Do you know the Gosslers? Their daughter Hanley and I, we've been friends since we were 4. They didn't take them, did they? Not Hanley! It can't be!
There's a family
No!
battle. I'm sure Mr. Dussel needs to get settled before supper. I'm sorry we can't offer you your own room. Trust you won't mind sharing with one of my daughters.
forgive me for upsetting you.
No. You had to tell us. We had to know.
Come, Anne. Why don't you show Mr. Dussel your room?
Me. Thank you. For everything.
All he said. So terrible. So different from what Mr. Collins been telling us.
I like it better the way Crawler tells it.
Here we are.
It isn't very big, is it?
I've never shared a room with a man before. I hope I'll be a suitable companion. I know you'll miss the woman you lived with terribly.
Charlotte and I have never been apart. It all happened so fast. I couldn't tell where I was going. I didn't know myself.
We weren't supposed to. None of our friends knew. It would have been too dangerous. Not just for them, for us. And Charlotte.
You're a very bright young lady. I hope you'll bear with me.
I hope you'll bear with me. You seem to irritate everyone around here. What's she like, your Charlotte?
Charming, beautiful. You would like her. She's not Jewish, you know.
I know, me told us. That's That's my bed, and that's Marco's where you'll sleep. I know it's small and dark in here, but if you peek through the blackout curtain, you'll see the most beautiful chestnut tree in the world. I can't wait till it's in blossom. Though I hope the war will be over by then, and we'll all be home. I was wondering about the room. Margot always had in the afternoons and I had in the mornings. Would that be all right with you?
Actually, I'm not at my best in the mornings.
Then you take the mornings and I'll take the afternoons. Did you get your dental appointment? I love all those little mirrors. Will you fill all our cavities?
It's not easy being a dentist, you know. Children don't understand that.
What do you mean?
Nobody likes going to the dentist. Everyone makes fun of dentists, but believe me, it's no fun for us. Everyone hates us.
It's awful.
Tell me something. When you're in here, where do I go? Out there with all those people?
And Mushi,
Who's Mushi?
Peter's cat.
Cat? No one mentioned a cat to me. He has it here?
You'll love Mushi. He's the sweetest cat in the world.
I hate cats. They're terrifying. They give me asthma.
Don't worry, Peter keeps him in his room all the time.
Let's hope so. By the way, Mr. Crawler mentioned a schedule.
It's mainly about when we have to be quiet. And when we can use the WC. You can use it now if you want.
No, thank you.
Here.
I understand. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to lie down before supper. It helps with the digestion.
You rest, Mr. Dussel. I'll try and make you feel at home.
This is Colin Rees-Parker with BBC Radio Europe, November 12th. Yesterday, German forces entered unoccupied France. Acting quickly to counter sweeping Allied gains, Hitler sent armored columns to occupy Vichy France. The Vichy regime came to an end, and with it, the final pretense that part of France was a free zone.
Father tucked me in. I feel wicked sleeping in a warm bed when my friends are at the mercy of the cruelest monsters ever to walk the earth. All because they're Jews. I assume most of them are murdered. The BBC says they're being gassed. Perhaps that's the quickest way to die. No matter what I'm doing, I can't stop thinking about those who are gone. All we can do is wait for the war to end. The whole world is waiting, and many are waiting for death.
Octo, the list for Tuesday's train. 1,000 will leave Westerbork tomorrow for labor service in the east. No exceptions.
You're going to get us all killed.
Anne, you're here. You're safe. It was a dream, my angel. You were having a dream.
These nightmares, Mrs. Frank, they're getting worse. I don't sleep anymore. I've been half my night shushing her.
Anne, little Anne.
Every night, Mrs. Every night. She She's going to get us all killed.
Please, Mr. Doozle, go back to bed. She'll be all right in a minute.
What's happening?
Another night and night.
It sounded like someone was murdering her.
Can I get you some water? It was a bad dream, wasn't it? Do you want to tell me?
No.
Sometimes it helps.
Mother, I'm fine.
Very well. I'll sit right beside you until you fall asleep.
I'd rather you didn't.
I see. Good night then.
Will you ask Father to come in? Please?
She wants you, Otto. She's trembling. Go to her. It's a phase. You aren't like this. I'm more like you.
It's not that she doesn't love you.
Pim! I tried to broke through the bookcase! They took us all away! The train whistled, Pim! The train going to the east! Did I yell terribly loud? Do you think anyone heard outside? I know what you're thinking. I can't help the way I feel. I just don't love her.
Anne.
We don't get along. We never have, and now I hate being cooped up with her. I don't get along with anyone here. My nightmares, Kim. Everyone hates me for having them. I can't stop them from coming.
We're all having nightmares, Anne. Only you let them out. Mother has them too. Terrible nightmares. She's having a very hard time.
No, I know, Pam. I'm trying to change. But it's as if I'm split in half. What's right? What's wrong? I don't know. I want to be a better person, but not if it means shutting myself off. Hiding how I feel.
I understand. We've always understood each other, you and I. You know, Annika, you taught me something the day we came here. Do you remember when we first arrived? Mother and Margot were numb. Couldn't speak, couldn't move. I was a wreck with worry, but you skipped around the room calling it an adventure. You showed me you could escape. Now when I read my Dickens, it takes me to another world. A world in which I feel safe. You have something too, Anne. A diary. You're lucky. You can write. You can put all your thoughts and feelings down on paper.
broadcast. Kim asked what was the first thing we wanted to do when we're liberated. I'd be so thrilled. I wouldn't know where to begin. I longed to be back in school with my friends, ride a bike, whistle, laugh so hard it hurts. I wonder if anyone will ever not think about whether I'm Jewish. I'm just a young girl badly in need of some good, plain fun. Margot said.
I want to go dancing, learn the latest steps, and fly all over the room in a new pair of dancing shoes.
The movies. I'd love to go see a movie. A Western. If they ever decide to listen again.
Longing for a real cup of coffee with cream and sugar and a whole pot full.
A bath. A hot bath in a bathtub. Lying there, luxuriating for hours. And then Pootie comes in and soaks my back.
And Pootie said,
Cream cakes. First thing out of here, I'm going to Burkhoff's for cream cakes.
Charlotte, just to look at her, listen to her, for hours.
You know what I want? I want to pack a picnic lunch. Take my family to the seashore for the whole day.
What a beautiful menorah, Mr. Adrian.
Amen. That was very moving.
it's not over yet. There's still the song. Presents!
Not this year.
No lactose either.
Don't remind me.
I make the best lactose you've ever tasted.
Please, I can't bear it.
Invite us all next year.
What's in there?
Presents! For Margot. Read it out loud.
You never lose your temper. You never will, I fear. You're just so good, but if you should, put all your crosswords here. Oh, and a crossword puzzle book.
It's not new, it's yours. I rubbed it all out, but if you wait a while and forget, you can do it all over again.
And it's wonderful, thank you.
For Mrs. Van Dam.
Oh, it's beautiful. What's in it?
Shampoo. I took all the tiny pieces of soap and mixed it with the last of my toilet water.
How wonderful. Thank you, Anne.
This was all Anne's idea.
For Mr. Van Dam. This is really something. Something you want more than anything in the world.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. What could it be? A cigarette!
They found some old pipe tobacco in the pocket lining of his coat. And we made it. Well, Pim did. But it's real tobacco, I promise.
We'll see.
Thanks for not giving up the habit.
Thank you, Anne. I mean it. Truly.
For Mother.
Here's an IOU. I promise to pay 10 hours of doing whatever you say. Anne.
Boy, I wish I had that little slip of paper. 10 hours. You wouldn't consider selling it, would you, Mrs. Spring?
Never. It's the best present I've ever had.
For Pim!
Anne, I wasn't supposed to get anything. Oh,
I made it out of bits of wool I found. No one helped me, not even Mother, not even Margot. I knitted it in the dark.
I'm just kidding.
I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
That it does.
I shall treasure.
Hermushi!
Oh, and the ribbons from your ballet slippers.
On behalf of Mushi, thank you. It's very sweet of you.
And from Miss Quack Quack. Go ahead and open it.
You're sure nothing's going to jump out and bite me?
What is it?
A razor. Meep got it for me. And you really do need one now.
What for?
Look at his upper lip. There's a little something growing there.
There is, well, put a little milk on it and let the cat lick it off.
Think you're fine, do you? Well, I like it. Thanks, Anne.
And last but not least, my roommate, Mr. Ducey.
You got something for me. Capsules. 2 capsules. Not poison, I hope.
Earplugs. So you won't hear me thrashing around at night. I made them out of cotton and candle wax. Try them, see if they work. Ready?
What?
Are you ready?
My God. They've gone inside my head. Help! I'm just joking. Thank you, Anne.
I love my cousin. Isn't that darling? I don't know how she did
A
it.
real Hanukkah in the end.
One last present.
What?
One thing. Just one.
Who for?
Show us!
For Mother. For tonight.
Otto. The music box. How did you?
I saved it for you. I was hoping we wouldn't be here till Hanukkah, but I brought it just in case.
Your father's an angel for bringing this. It goes all the way back to my great-grandmother.
Why didn't you save anything of mine?
Everyone, look! Mushi loves his presents.
Peter, he'll give me asthma.
What's the matter with you? Get that cat out of here.
Cats? What cats?
It doesn't have to be the cat. His clothes are enough.
Don't worry, we're getting rid of it.
Finally you listen to me.
I'm not doing it for you, so I'm just sick of the damn fleas.
Mr. Van Dam, you can't do that.
That's Peter's cat. Peter loves that cat.
If Mushi goes, I go.
So go! Go!
You're not going and the cat's not going. Put the towel away. Sit down, Mr. Dussel, it's Hanukkah, a time of celebration. Girls, the song, please.
Matzah Yeshua si lehana eli sheveh.
Do you hear anything? I think they've gone.
Like, stop them.
Stop Olivia. Maybe it was a thief.
We have to do something.
I'm going down.
Put the button on. Put it with her mother. Over the roof, Jarvis. Wait, do something.
Someone pop up.
Oh God, sit down.
Please don't.
Wait. Took the cash box and ran off so fast that I left the front door wide open. The noise must have scared him away. Danger's past now. We're safe.
Maybe. We're in even greater danger.
Mr. Dussel, please.
Now someone knows we're up here.
What are you pointing at? It was an accident. Could have happened to any one of us.
You mean a thief is gonna go to the police and say, I was robbing this place the other night when I heard something above my head? You mean a thief is gonna say that?
Yes, I do.
You're crazy.
I think someday he'll get caught and make a bargain with the police. If they let him off, we'll tell him where some Jews are hiding. Maybe we'll even reward him. 7.5 guilders a Jew.
We can't stay here anymore. Let's go, Papa. Let's just go.
Where would we go?
To the street.
We're not going anywhere. We can't panic. If we panic, we're lost. We've survived here for 6 months together. We're going on. Yeah. Margot. The song. Please.
Sometimes I see myself alone in a dungeon. Without father or mother. Or I'm roaming in the streets. Or the annex is on fire. Or they come in the middle of the night to take us away. And I know it can all happen soon. I see the 8 of us in the annex as if we're a patch of blue sky. Threatened by menacing black clouds. We're surrounded by darkness and danger, and in our desperate search for a way out, we keep bumping into each other. We look at the fighting below and the peace and beauty above, but we're cut off by a dark mass of clouds that can go neither up nor down. It looms before me, an impenetrable wall. I can only cry out and implore, open wide. Let us out!
In dieser Stunde verlassen schon wieder Zehntausende von Parteigenossen die Stadt, während aber die einen noch von der Erinnerung zehren, während andere schon wieder beginnen zu rüsten zum nächsten Appell. Und wieder werden die Menschen kommen und gehen und stets aufs Neue ergriffen, beglückt und begeistert sein. Denn die Idee und die Bewegung sind Lebensausdruck unseres Volkes und damit ein Symbol des Ewigen. Es lebe die nationalsozialistische Bewegung! Es lebe Deutschland!
January 1st, 1944. Another new year has begun, and we're in the middle of the Great Terror, known as winter. We've been here 1 year, 5 months, and 25 days. We're all thinner, paler, and a lot hungrier. We've been plagued by medical problems. Someone's always suffering from something. And although we can't call a doctor, our favorite dentist is never too far away.
I'm almost done, Mrs. Van Dam. If you can just hold on a little longer.
How can I? You're killing me.
If you stop complaining so much, perhaps I could finish sooner.
Okay, I'll try.
Mrs. Van Dam, please. You got my instrument stuck in your tooth.
I can't help. Is that my fault?
Stop moving. You're making it go on further.
There. I got it out.
I'm lucky. I've been healthy. In fact, I've been growing. So much I can't fit into my shoes anymore. Not to speak of anything else. And there's another change. Something happening inside me. Each time I get my period, and it's only been 3 times now, I get the feeling that, despite the pain, I have a sweet secret. And I long for the time I'll feel that secret again. And there's one more thing. Peter. Whenever he looks at me with those eyes.
Me?
Happy New Year, me.
Happy New Year.
You really must have to stay to yourself, but we're so glad that you came.
Beep! It's not the wind.
Anne, how are you?
I wonder if you mind taking this letter. For Charlotte. For the New Year.
Meep Jen.
Are you feeling any better, Monroe?
A little.
Well, maybe. This will make you feel better.
What do you look at? The cake! The cake!
Hey, I'll get the place.
Is it your special spice cake?
Spice cake, exactly. Your favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Spice cake, what a treat. You must have used up all your rations for this week.
Look, she wrote peace in 1944.
Last year it was peace in 1943.
Well, it has to come sometime, doesn't it?
Let's pray it will.
Here's the knife, Petronella. Now, how many are there of us?
Oh, none for me, thank you.
Well, that leaves 7.
8. 8. Same number as it always is.
I took it for granted Margot wouldn't have any.
Why not?
I don't think a piece of spice cake would harm her.
I just don't want her to start coughing again. 8. All right, 8.
And please, Mrs. Frank should cut the cake. Mrs. Frank divides things better.
What are you saying? Don't I always give everyone exactly the same?
Everyone always gets exactly the same. Except Mr. Van Dam always gets a little bit more.
Now just a minute.
Please, please. Meep, you see how little spice cake goes to our heads?
And Mrs. Frank, you cut.
It looks delicious, Meep.
Oh, that smell. Maybe you're sure you won't have a piece.
No, thank you. I have to go in a minute.
Meep Jen. Jan is lucky to get a woman who can bake like this.
Jan, tell us about Jan.
John's taking me to a party tonight.
A party? We remember everything, so we can tell us about it tomorrow.
Everyone you dance with.
Oh, Jan. Only Jan. Oh, I seem to have forgotten something. For someone?
Me?
What is it? I can hardly stand the suspense.
Oh my. Meep, where did you find them?
You can hardly get a slipper on the black market these days.
And look, they match.
How incredible.
All grown up. Ready for Hollywood.
Enjoy them, Anne. And don't worry, I'll give you all a full report tomorrow.
Meep, there's something I'd like you to do for me.
What is it, please? What are you talking
You know what I'm talking about.
What is it?
He wants to sew her fur coat.
Don't do this to me, Pootie. This is my coat. I've had this coat for 17 years. My father gave me this coat. You have no right. Let go of it, please.
You have to give it up.
You have no right.
You can't hold on to a fur coat when people are in such desperate need for warm clothing. Besides, we're broke. We've been running out of money for months. I have to sell it.
I remember when a new year was something to celebrate. Mrs. Gray, we mustn't give up hope. There's no hope to be had. I know that now. I knew it the night that Hitler came to power. When that voice came screaming out on the radio. I sat there paralyzed. And now in London, what is the Dutch Queen doing? What are they all doing? They're not even mentioning the word Jew. The trains are still leaving. Why don't they bomb the tracks? I can't talk about this with the others, me. I know they're making plans, counting the days until the war is over. But I feel that the war will never end. Sometimes I want to give myself up. Mrs. Frank, forgive me, but these trains make it a little easier.
They need you. The children need you.
Ashamed to feel this way. I know you and Mr. Crawl have it just as hard.
No, Mrs. Frank, I don't.
Thank you for listening to me.
Non, ce n'est pas ce que tu penses.
Pause, Mr. Drizzle, pause. From concern to think. Ce que vous ne faites pas, vous.
What?
Ce que vous ne faites pas.
You're going too fast.
Oui, je sais.
To say. I know that one.
Bon, continue. La page suivante, s'il vous plaît.
I just don't understand. I would have never done something like that to you.
The coat was 17 years old, for God's sake. Those skins had definitely seen their
That's
day.
not the point, and you know it.
I know. We need the money. We have no money. Can you get that through your head?
Don't talk to her like that.
That coat was the last thing. A whole world gone.
Well, you still got us, haven't you?
You took the last memory of my father away.
Do we have to hear about your father? If you hadn't been so attached to your father, your coat, the apartment, with our goddamn possessions, we'd be in America by now!
Oh, please, it was you too. You know you
I only stayed because if you believe me, I knew which way the wind was blowing.
Sir, you always know everything.
Mother, please stop.
Your mother will never listen.
If I could just say one thing,
No, you cannot. You say too much already. Besides, it's none of your goddamn business.
You shouldn't have said that.
What?
You hurt her feelings.
Well, I apologize, all right? I apologize to everyone.
You left this.
Thank you.
I'm sorry for what happened back there. I wish I could have said something, but they just make me feel so... I can't stand it when they... Sometimes I wish I didn't belong to them at all. I just hope I don't turn out like them.
You won't. I know it.
Like him. What if I'm like him?
You're not. Believe me.
All I can say is, you've always been a big help to me.
I am how?
Well, when you're cheerful, it helps keep me from being depressed.
hard. You want to cry or something? There's nowhere to go.
Whenever there's a fight, with my parents, I was just duck up in my attic.
You're lucky you have a room of your own.
You're lucky you can talk to your parents.
Not really. I could never discuss anything serious with Mother. I could talk about anything with Father. Except Mother. I don't think you can really be intimate with someone if they hold something back. Do you?
Well, I think your father's terrific.
He likes you too.
You think so?
I can tell from the little things he says. It's funny, isn't it?
What?
Well, we've been here almost a year and a half, and this is really the first time we've ever talked.
I know what you mean.
You know something?
What?
I've never truly had a friend. Someone I could really confide in.
Me neither. Smile for me.
Why?
You have dimples when you smile.
Dimples. The only mark of beauty I possess.
That's not true. You're pretty.
Me?
Yes, you.
The sun is shining, the sky a deep blue, there's a magnificent breeze, and I'm longing, so longing for everything. I walk from room to room, breathe through the crack in the window frame, feel my heart beat as if to say, can't you fulfill this longing at last? I long for every boy, and to Peter I want to shout, say something, don't just stand there and smile at me. Touch me so I can get that delicious feeling inside. I feel spring awakening. I feel it in my entire body and soul. I'm utterly confused. Don't know what to read, to write, to do. All I know is I'm longing.
What is it tonight?
Don't ask.
I have to be prepared.
My God. I can't eat this again. Pickles, kale, and rotten potatoes. Every night for weeks now.
Something wrong, Dussel? You try cooking for a change instead of insulting my wife.
I think you prepare the kale very well, Miss Van Dam. I don't know how you do it.
Mr. Frank, always the soul of politeness.
Every night, another miracle.
Careful, Mr. Dussel. We don't want to clog the pipes like last week.
Huggy, please.
Eat, Margot. You're not eating. You have to eat. I'm not hungry.
She doesn't want it, Peter will eat it.
Come, Margot, just take a bite.
I can't.
She eats like a bird. Look at her. Every day a smaller bird. Margot, I'm doing the best I can. I just...
Sorry, Miss Van Dam.
Anne's eating. Peter's eating.
How do you do it, Anne?
I pretend it's delicious. Don't worry. Before you know it, it's gone.
That's very wise, Peter.
I eat because I'm hungry.
You have to force yourself, Margot. You're too thin.
She's not the only one. We're all famished.
Will this war ever be over?
This war would be over a lot sooner if the goddamn British would start the invasion.
The British are fighting for their lives.
They'll do something when the time is right.
When we're dead and buried, you mean? It's amazing how strong those Germans are.
Oh, it's amazing how strong those Germans are. They're gonna win the war. Is that what you're saying?
They might. They very well might. The British don't get a move on.
Oh, they're moving all right. 3,000 tons of bombs dropped on Hamburg last Sunday. Isn't that enough for you?
No.
Well, how many bombs do you need?
Enough so we don't have to worry about going to Poland. Hurry up, Mr. Dussel! Margot's waiting!
I can't wait any longer! There's a line forming again!
I'd like spending my life in there!
Caller.
I'm sorry to come at this hour. Something is happening.
What? What is it?
I must ask you all to be more careful.
quiet. What's happened?
An employee in the storeroom. A few days ago, he said to me, "What do you hear from Mr. Frank?" I said I heard a rumor in Switzerland, and he said he thought he heard the same thing, but thought I might know something more. And then today, while signing some invoices, I looked up and saw him staring at the bookshelf.
My God.
He said he remembered a door there. And then he wanted more money. 10 more guilders a month.
Blackmail.
10 guilders a month? Very modest blackmail.
It's just the beginning.
What did you tell him?
I said I had to think about it. Pay him the money, take the chance of firing
For
him.
God's sake, pay him the money.
Offer him half. We'll see if it's blackmail or not.
Listen, maybe it's nothing, but it gets more dangerous out there every day. No one can be trusted. You must be quiet. Quiet. I'll offer him half.
Thank you.
We'll hope for the best.
Thank you.
Mother, I'm so sad. I can't bear seeing you like this.
I'll be all right in a minute, Annika. Go back to supper.
I'd rather stay here.
And now from London, a message from our Dutch Minister of Education, Mr. Gerrit Bolkestein.
History cannot be written on the basis of official documents alone. If our descendants are to understand what we as a nation have endured during these years, we need simple, everyday pieces. A diary, a letter from a forced labor in Germany.
I can't believe it. Did you really just say a diary? I'll start revising it tomorrow. Maybe one day I could even publish a novel of my own. The Secret Annex. Based on my diary. Unless you write yourself, you can't know how wonderful it is. When I write, I shake off all my cares. But I want to achieve more than that. I want to bring enjoyment to all people, even those I've never met. I want to go on living even after my death.
Mr. Dussel is getting awfully impatient out there.
Let him, I'm always waiting on him.
Are you going up to the attic with Peter again? You've already spent so much time there today.
I went up exactly twice. Once to practice French together and once to get the potatoes for supper.
You know Mrs. Van Dam. She's got a comment for every little thing.
It's not her fault. It's in her nature. I don't think it's Mrs. Van Dam that's upsetting you.
I'm not upset.
You're not jealous of Peter and me? I'd be insanely jealous if it were you instead of me.
Yes, I imagine you would be. But I'm not.
Aren't you, Margot? Tell me the truth.
Who wouldn't want someone to visit with every night? Have deep, serious conversations with? And who knows what else? Yes, I'm jealous. But not of you and Peter. I just like someone of my own, that's all. I'm happy you have some.
You mean it?
I want you to have a good time tonight. Every night. You've already missed out on so much here.
Margot, you're such a generous person. Anyway, there's nothing to be jealous of. We don't do anything. He's never even kissed me.
The kiss will come.
I'm not sure I wanted to.
Oh, you do. I know you. You can't help yourself. It's in your nature. Let me put some here. Now you're ready.
You mind if I get back into my room?
Our room, Mr. Dussel. And yes, you may return.
Thank you so much.
And again, and look at her. You better bundle up. It's cold in the attic. In my day, it was the boys who called on the girls.
The young ones like to pretend they have secrets. The attic's the only place they can talk.
Talk? Not what they called it in my day.
I think a little romance may be developing in our little annex.
We're here much longer. We might even have a little annex wedding. Frankly, I can't stand this stupid chatter another moment. And don't forget to be down by 9.
You're so old-fashioned. I guess they don't realize how much more advanced we are.
You look nice.
Really?
I like the shoes. I've always liked the shoes.
Meep always does everything just right.
She likes you a lot, you know.
I love her. But I hate having to ask for absolutely everything. Doesn't it make you miserable to be so dependent on people?
I'm not so miserable. At least not anymore. I mean, even bumping into you on the stairs, I feel...
I feel the same.
You know, it's funny. I used to think you were a real pain in the neck.
My life before seemed so unreal. I wouldn't go back to being her for the world.
You sure seem to know a lot about yourself. I guess it comes from all that writing you do.
If I didn't, I mean, write what I think, what I feel, I'd suffocate. I want to be a real writer one day. I know I can write. I'm my harshest critic. But who knows if I truly have talent or not. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Some job that doesn't require much brains, I guess. Maybe if I had your drive.
That's ridiculous.
No, it's true. I'm a complete idiot.
Yourself?
Didn't have much going on for me on the outside either.
But, Peter, don't you miss... I miss so many things. Sometimes I dream I'm back in our old apartment. I wake up and think, why can't I run outside? Oh, you can see the moon from here. Just like you said. How beautiful.
Are you cold?
Well, maybe just a little.
Here.
Peter, have you ever kissed a girl?
I guess so.
You have when?
It wasn't a big deal or anything.
Tell me.
All right, fine. It was my birthday. I was blindfolded. I don't even know who the girl was.
There's nothing wrong with being kissed, you know. Though I know Margot would never kiss another boy unless she were engaged to him. And I know Mother never touched another man before she met him. My friends would say, Anne, how shocking. But who cares what they'd say anyway? Everything's different now. Here.
You said before that this was our attic. Did you mean it?
I do.
You won't let them stop you from coming up here?
No, I promise.
We'll come tomorrow night?
If you want me to.
I do.
It's 9:05.
I will then.
A faster pace evacuating the Jews will begin as we move them by train not once but twice per week, transporting 12,000 Jews per month. This is dirty work, but a mission of great historical purpose. When not a single Jew remains in the Netherlands, people will again walk freely in the streets.
Edith, please, go back to bed.
My God, I don't believe it. The bread. The bread. He's stealing the bread.
No, quiet.
Herman, for God's sake.
What is it? What's going on?
Your husband is stealing our bread.
I can't be Rudy. What are you doing?
Never before. Never before.
I don't believe you. If he steals once, he'll steal again. Every day I watch the children getting thinner and thinner, and he comes in the middle of the night and steals food that should go to them.
Oh my God.
Edith,
My
please.
Mama, it's only a piece of bread.
Here.
I want him to go.
Go? Go where?
Anywhere.
You don't mean what you're saying.
It would be impossible.
Edith, you know how upset you've been these past
That
weeks.
has nothing to do with
He
it.
couldn't help himself. It could have happened to any one of us. It won't happen again.
Never. I promise.
No. I can't take it with them here anymore. They have to go.
You put us out on the streets.
There are other hiding places.
Mr. Frank, you said you'd never forget what my husband did for you.
If my husband had any obligation to you, it's been paid for.
Edith, for God's sake, I've never seen you like this.
You can't throw Peter out. He hasn't done anything. Peter can stay.
I wouldn't feel right without my parents.
His mother may be killed on the street.
Anne's right. You can't send them away. They can stay until Meek finds them a hiding place. But we're switching rooms.
I don't want him near the food.
Let's divide it up right now.
Mr. Dussel,
We're not going to divide up some rotten potatoes.
Stop, Mr.
Stand
Dussel. No more, no more. I beg you.
All this happening.
Mr. Dussel, Margot, everyone back in your rooms. Come, Edith.
Peter.
Mr. Dussel, the potatoes can wait. Just let them wait. Abe? This hour?
Everyone. Most wonderful, most incredible news.
Well, what is it?
The invasion. The invasion has begun. Did you hear me? It's happening right now. You could feel it in the streets. The excitement. I ran to tell you before the workmen got here. This is it. They've landed off the coast of Normandy.
The British?
Oh, British, Americans, everyone. More than 4,000 ships.
Oh, look up. I brought a map.
We've written this moment for over a year now.
Cherbourg, the first city. They're fighting for it now.
How many days will it take them from Normandy to the Netherlands?
What did I tell you, Edith?
Cherbourg, Cannes, Pont-l'Evêque, Paris, and then Amsterdam.
Herman, don't you hear? We'll be free soon.
People of Western Europe, a landing was made this morning on coast of France by troops of the Allied Expeditionary Force.
Everybody listen, it's General Eisenhower.
I have this message for all of you. Although the initial assault may not have been in your own country, the hour of your liberation is approaching.
Home. Can you believe it? We could be going home. I don't even know what home would be like anymore. I can't imagine it. We've been away so long.
I can. Imagine every little detail. Hi, Margot. The walk along the canal. Everything.
I don't want to let myself think about it. To have a real meal. It doesn't seem possible. Will anything taste the same? Look the same? I don't know if anything will ever be the same again. How can we go back? Really? You know what I've decided? To be a nurse. For newborns. Go far, far away. How far? Maybe. I don't know, maybe to Palestine. Maybe you'll go back to school in October. September, even, wouldn't that be something, Annika?
Goody. You know what I was just thinking about? You won't believe this, but I was thinking about the first night we met. When you were buzzing around with the rest of the boys in Bremerhaven. I picked you out right away, you know. You were the one who made me laugh. And laugh. That afternoon you took me out on the ferry. First you made me laugh, and then you started to kiss me, and kiss me, and the kisses were even better than the laughter. Remember? You gave me so many the ferrymen turned to watch us, and the ferry went off course. And then you made me laugh even more. When we got back, you had such a ravenous appetite, you made that little restaurant open its doors, and you ordered almost everything on the menu. What an appetite, the waiter kept saying. That man can really eat. We'll go back on that ferry one day, Prudy. It won't be long now. Soon I'll be cooking all your old favorites. Sauerbraten with red cabbage. Latkes with their cherished applesauce. We can go to Burkhoff's for cream cakes. But in the meantime, Prudy, if you're hungry, hold on to me. Prudy, please just hold on to me.
you deserted me. Help me. Help me. Rescue me from this hell. Only I could. Why have I been chosen to live and you to die? Connolly. Connolly, if you ever return, I'll take you in. Share everything I have with you. Are you still alive? I keep seeing your enormous eyes. Keep seeing myself in your place. You're a reminder of what my fate might have been. What will we do if we're... No, I mustn't write that down. The question won't go away. It looms before me in total, absolute horror.
And so, we come to the end of this broadcast from BBC Radio Europe. Till tomorrow, listeners, and we all know, no matter how hard the times and how heavy the separation, we are once more a day closer to the liberation.
Strawberries! There's something I love more.
I can't understand you. Your mouth's too full.
I wouldn't talk. You haven't stopped eating since we came up here.
Look at you. You're all red.
Look at you, they're all over your shirt.
Well, it's sure better than those string beans yesterday.
Green, green, green. I thought they'd never end.
Every string I'm pulled made me sure I never want to be just a housewife.
You never will be.
No, I forgot how wonderful they are.
Of course you forgot. We haven't seen a berry in 2 years.
Don't need too many, Putty. Remember how sick you were last night from that kelp soup?
I'm just worried that there won't be any left for jam with those in the attic.
You're such a warrior, Mr. Dussel. Let the children enjoy themselves. God, these are good.
I'll tell you a secret. Every night I think, I'm coming. I'm coming. Our liberators!
Bitch will both forget about me once you're back with all your old friends.
Most of our friends are gone.
But we won't forget you.
Ever.
All I can say is, as soon as I get back, I'm gonna make sure no one knows I'm Jewish.
What?
I'm serious. Life would be so much easier if I was just a Christian.
You mean you'd be baptized?
I don't know. Maybe.
I never turn away from who I am. Don't you think I will always be Jewish? In your soul?
Petronella van Daan! Petronella van Daan! Alfred Dussel! Hamad van Daan! Edith Frank! Frank. Aufstehen. Nimm mal. Suche das Haus. Ja. Klar? Ja. Guten Abend.
It's utterly impossible to build my life on a foundation of fear. I see the world transformed into a wilderness. I hear the approaching thunder, which will destroy us too. I feel the suffering of millions.
Westerbork. A barren heath. Wooden towers where our jailers stand guard. Walls covered with thousands of flies. The 8 of us crammed into Barrack 67. Betrayed. We never know by whom. Our last month together. Our last month. Anne and Peter walking hand in hand between the barracks and barbed wire. Edith worrying about the children. Washing underclothing in murky water. Numb. Margot. Silent, staring at nothing. Our last days on Dutch soil. Late August. Paris. Freed. Brussels. Antwerp. But for us, it was too late. Tuesday, September 3rd, 1944. 1,000 of us are herded onto cattle cars. The last transport to leave Westerbork for the extermination camps. The train. 3 days and 3 nights. In the middle of the 3rd night, Auschwitz. Separation. Men from women. Edith. Margot. Anne. My family. Never again. Selection. Half of our transport killed in the gas chambers. One day, Peter and I see a group of men marching away. His father among them, gassed. Peter on the death march to Mauthausen, dead 3 days before the British arrive. His mother, Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Buchenwald, Theresienstadt. Date of death, unknown. January 27, 1945, I am freed from Auschwitz. I know nothing of Edith or the children. And then I learn. Edith dies in Birkenau of grief, hunger, and exhaustion. In the winter of '45, typhus breaks out in Bergen-Belsen, killing thousands of prisoners. Among them, Margot. Anne's friend Hanley sees Anne through the barbed wire, naked, her head shaved, covered in lice. I don't have anyone anymore, she weeps. Anne dies a few days later. My daughter's body's dumped in mass graves just before the camps are liberated. All that remains.
It's a wonder I haven't abandoned all my ideals. They seem so absurd and impractical. Yet I cling to them because I still believe, in spite of everything, people are truly good at heart.